It's March, so it's spring in Rapid City, right? It's spring in Rapid City, right? Hey everyone, I'm Tristan Emond with Mindful Living Realty, a realtor right here in Rapid City, South Dakota, the gateway to the Black Hills. If you are new to Rapid City or thinking about moving here, we need to have a conversation about something called spring here in Rapid City. Up here, spring is more of a group project between summer, winter, and a little bit of chaos mixed in. If you grew up somewhere with, like predictable seasons, spring is that time when the temperature starts warming up, you start seeing the sun more often, and it really becomes more of a month where you're starting to pull out those short sleeve shirts. That's kind of adorable. In Rapid City, March is winter wearing a mustache pretending it's spring. Now, a quick caveat to this is every year but this year. I've been calling this winter a non-winter because we've broken more warmth records than any year in history. So much warmth going on and no snow. I've barely ever had to break out my heavy winter coat. But that's not usual. Usually during the wintertime, we're hanging around the 20s and 30s. We've got snowstorms that happen every once in a while, and it gets cold. And sometimes these winter can start as early as October. So sometimes around March, it's like, I'm ready for some spring. So what happens in early March, we get a nice 50-degree day, and everybody starts thinking it must be spring. We open the windows, we go visit the parks, we start wearing shorts outside. And then 2 days later, we get 10 inches of snow and a 40-mile-an-hour wind. March is tricky because we want spring so bad that we look at this guy with a mustache on masquerading as spring, and we think this is really cool. The first 60-degree day of March, we start taking our patio furniture out, talking about golf, and washing our cars. And then Mother Nature says, yeah, that's cute, and then drops another snowstorm. Historically, March is really more of a winter month here in the Rapid City area. Snowstorms are common and they can be pretty big. And if you look at snow accumulations in our area month by month, you'll see that historically, March is the one with the most snowfall. In fact, this week shows exactly how things go. It was 70 degrees on Sunday. It's 30 degrees and snowing today. It'll be 60 again on Thursday. And then back to snow and cold this weekend. Usually though, these temperatures are closer to 40s and 50s than they are 60s and 70s. And that's pretty normal for March. The Black Hills create some pretty unique weather patterns, and since we're just on the edge of that in our Banana Belt area, things get a little unpredictable. We get mountain weather, we get plains weather, sometimes we get them both on the same day. And of course, it's like that old adage, you don't like the weather, stay 5 minutes, it'll change. Now you're thinking, okay, so March is still winter, I get it, but April, once we get to April, then it'll be spring, right? Then it'll be spring, right? Well, not quite. April can be the most emotionally confusing month of the year because we start seeing green grass. We start seeing blue skies and sunshine. The warmer weather starts happening more frequently. And we think, now we can have the spring. And then out of nowhere, boom, snowstorm. And we're talking the heavy spring, wet snow that hurts your back when you try to shovel it. A spring snowstorm in Rapid City in April is really common. In fact, some of our bigger spring storms have happened in April. And this is that wet, heavy snow that sticks to the trees, makes everything look like a postcard, but also is great because during the normal parts of the winter, our snow is pretty dry and boring. Now we get to go out and make our snowmen, have our snowbar fights, and if there's enough snow, make our snow forts. But don't get used to that. So when we have our red April snow, get outside, enjoy it fast, because that sun's coming out the next day and it's going to melt everything really quickly. Some days you can wake up to 6 inches of snow and by afternoon the roads are cleared and it's over. It's like winter showed up late to the party and then left because they realized everybody was already gone. Along comes May, and May is the month when we expect it should, really start being spring, right? And most of the time it does. We start seeing temperatures more in the 60s and 70s a little more consistently. People are out hiking and biking again. We start seeing leaves on the trees. Flowers are sprouting, and our lawns are coming back to life again. But even in May, snow is possible. I can think of 2 heavy snow events that happened in May. We got about 2 feet of snow on Mother's Day and went outside and were making a lot of fun things, snowballs and stuff outside during Mother's Day. And the other was the Monday before the last day of school. And we had to cancel school because of that snowstorm. Of course, it melted the next day, but still here we are, almost June, and we're still getting a significant snowfall happening the end of May. Snow in May isn't necessarily common, but it is possible. It has happened before, and sometimes putting your snow shovel away in April is getting the job done a little bit too soon. Another thing about spring in our area is the huge temperature roller coaster. We are known for our dramatic swings in temperature. Sometimes you can see a 40 or 50 degree change in weather from one day to the next, which means one week you're wearing a winter coat with gloves and hat, and the next week you're out grilling burgers on the grill in shorts and flip-flops. Locals around here live by the layering strategy. Your closet isn't organized by season, it's organized by what might I need today, and you keep a few extra things in the car because you never know what's going to happen during the day. There's actually a reason why the weather in Rapid City behaves this way. It's geography. We sit right where several weather influencers collide. We've got the Great Plains, we've got the Black Hills, colder air masses coming down from Canada, and then warmer air pressure coming up from the south. If you look at some of those weather maps and you notice the jet stream when they have that indicated by the lines, so you'll notice that a lot of times it's coming right over our area. The Black Hills themselves create something that's called upslope weather, where storms build as air moves up through the hills. And that's why you can see situations where it's sunny in Rapid City, snowing in the Black Hills, and windy out on the plains, all at the same time. So that makes weather forecasting here challenging. Meteorologists will say what they think, but sometimes it can be, well, that escalated quickly, because that's what South Dakota does. Now, after everything I've just said, you might think that spring in Rapid City sounds like a disaster. It really isn't. Spring has some really great memories here in our area. Those first warm days after winter are incredible. People are out on Canyon Lake having picnics, walking down the bike path, and biking on some of the trails in Rapid City. Cabin fever breaks hard around here. While we are out and about during the winter with our coats and our hats and our mittens and our boots, when it gets warm outside, we're ready to go out without all of that extra layer. Restaurants open patios, people are around everywhere. There's just a great energy. People feel like after the winter time, it's time to get outside and enjoy life. However, no matter what kind of weather hits us here in the Rapid City and Black Hills area, it doesn't slow us down much. We just adjust and move on. Snowstorm in April? No problem. Shovel the driveway, grab the coffee, let's go to work. Windy day? Yeah, that's Tuesday. Cold snap? Put on another layer. Make sure you got one in the car. People who live here just adapt. And actually, the unpredictability of it all makes it interesting. It keeps us guessing and it keeps us on our toes. And it's actually part of the charm about our area. Plus, when we finally get into real summer, we really appreciate the warmth until, of course, it gets to be 100 degrees one day, and then we're wishing for spring all over again. If you're thinking about relocating to Rapid City, you just got to understand that spring is, well, weird. You can't trust your calendar. March might look like spring on paper, but winter isn't quite finished doing business with us yet. So make sure you have your snow shovel handy, your winter coat accessible, and don't start planting too early because you never know when that snow is going to come or that cold snap and kill everything you just planted. You're probably going to want to wait till late May to get really going on that garden of yours, unless, of course, you start some of your plants inside. And always remember the rule of surviving the weather in a Rapid City. If it's beautiful out today, enjoy it. It might not be that way tomorrow. So the reality of spring in Rapid City is that it's unpredictable. It's occasionally messy. It's going to snow when you least expect it. But it also brings those amazing days when the sun hits the Black Hills just right, especially after, we spring forward on the time. The air warms up and the city just feels alive again. And after a normal long South Dakota winter, those days just feel amazing. Around here, spring, it ain't just a season. It's an adventure. If you like this video, make sure you check out this video of the weather events that we have in the Rapid City and Black Hills area to make sure that you're prepared for everything. Thanks so much for watching. Have an amazing day. Remember, love where you live.